Hi, and welcome to Noble Character Crafts. My name is Amy, and I'm coming to you from eastern Nebraska, where I live with my husband and our 5 children. Today is Friday, May 19th, 2023. A huge welcome to any new or returning viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you really enjoy this episode. This is a channel all about my crafty life, and today I have knitting and crocheting to share with you all. I will have links to the places that you can find me in the description box below, as well as the show notes for this episode. I'm hosting a year-long make-along on Instagram called the Make 9 2023 Mal, and that's for you to join in the Make 9 challenge, where you can choose 9 projects that you would like to make this year, make a grid of those projects that you would like to make or work on this year, and anytime that you post a picture of your progress or a finished object from your board, you can include the hashtag Make 9 2023 Mal, and that will enter you in the drawing to win a prize, which I draw periodically throughout the year. I have a little special prize to give away today. I feel like it's a little extra special because it includes a few different items. So I was sent many beautiful, wonderful gifts from Danielle of Midwest Stitches earlier this year. One of the things that she sent my way is this beautiful project bag and a yarn cozy that she made. And so I'm going to be gifting this bag along with a hank of Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering weight yarn in the Burlingame colorway. It is 100 grams, it's fingering weight, 80% superwash fine Highland wool, and 20% polyamide. And I thought that this color was so beautiful and went very nicely with this beautiful bag. And then also I was contacted by a viewer of this channel named Nicola, and she is a designer, and she has several crochet designs on Ravelry and also on her website that she has offered the winner of this prize to choose one pattern from her design. So I will insert just a few of her beautiful designs. She has several other ones that you should definitely check out. I will link to her website down below so that you can check out her patterns. But the winner can also choose one of these beautiful patterns as a prize. And the winner is Nicole, who is Nicole Sharota on Instagram. Congratulations to you, Nicole. If you could please just get in contact with me and let me know your full name and mailing address. I know I have had it in the past, but it's just easier if you let me know again what that is, and I will get that up in the mail to you as soon as possible. And then please look through the designs and choose which design you would like best out of all of the beautiful designs from Elimee Designs, and let me know about that, and I will be sure to let Nicola know which pattern you choose, and then she can get that off in the either through email or Ravelry. She can get that off to you as well. So congratulations to you. Thanks so much to everybody who's been participating so far this year. If you haven't yet participated or joined in, don't hesitate to join in at any time. You do not have to finish everything on your board. You don't have to finish anything on your board. It's just for participatory, just for fun. And you don't have to, you can include whips, and any crafts are included. So please join in if you haven't already, just for the fun of it. I have a finished object that I am very, very pleased to share with you all. These are a really fun pair of socks that I knit for my friend Tina. She had looked through my yarn stash and came across this beautiful self-striping yarn and fell in love with it, and I said that I would be happy to knit her a pair of socks in it. So this yarn was actually gifted to me by another viewer of this channel named Adriana, and it is from Nomadic Yarns. It slipped my brain for a moment. Nomadic Yarns, and it's in the My Girl colorway. It's also fingering weight and 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base, and the colors in this yarn are just so fabulous. I have not wet blocked these socks, so you can kind of see more than normal, I think, my bit of a laddering going on from my magic loop method. I don't know if it's that noticeable, but to me it's quite noticeable that there's a line right here where my needles were changed. I thought that I was usually better at tightening up those stitches, but I'm sure it will block out. But anyway, I am still very, very happy with how these turned out. They were so much fun to work on. I loved working with these bright colors. I cast on 60 stitches and did 20, no, I'm sorry. I did not necessarily do 20 rounds. I don't actually remember how many rounds I did, but I did 5 stripes, 5 color stripes of the ribbing, which I did 2 by 1 ribbing. So knit 2, purl 1 around. And then I just went into plain stockinette for the rest of the sock. I added in a contrast color, or kind of a coordinating color for the heels. And that is a yarn that I dyed myself, also on a 75-25 base. And I did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset and a rounded toe and Kitchener the toes together. I knit these on US 0 2mm needles. Tina and I wear the same shoe size, and so I'm able to easily make her socks because I make them just like I make socks for myself. So that works out really well. I'm so pleased with these, and I have enough left over to make her a pair of Shortie socks. So I will be doing that in the near future. I asked her if she would be interested in a pair of Shortie socks, and she said that she would love them. So I will do that soon. I was trying to think if I've gifted her any Shortie socks, and I didn't make a pair of socks specifically for her, but I did end up kind of de-stashing a pair of Shortie socks to her. So I do believe she has one pair of Shortie socks that I've knitted, but she said she would love to have some more. So I will be doing that in the near future. That's the only finished object that I have for today, so I'm going to go on to my works in progress. The first one is being held in this gorgeous bag that was gifted to me by Trisha of Love. No. I've done this before, Trisha. Why do I forget? Love. That's crazy. I want to say Love and Stitches, but that's not right, is it? Love and Stitches, Trisha. Is that right? Why can't I remember? Oh, I remember this happened on another episode. I gotta go look it up. I'm pretty sure I did this last time. I forgot to. I went and grabbed this little pouch that she also gifted to me. It's Joy in the Stitches. Love and Stitches is Nitty Natty, isn't it? Okay, anyway. Oh, I'm so sorry, Trisha. I don't know why that slipped my mind again. Okay, anyway, this beautiful bag was gifted to me by Trisha of Joy in the Stitches. And it's the perfect project bag to hold this beautiful test knit that I am working on. It is the Maybury cardigan by Amy Lowden of Tailoress Studio. And I am still absolutely loving working on this project. What in the world? Why does it feel like everything's inside out? I was just working on this morning, and I don't understand how I'm inside out. I guess I did try it on, so maybe that's why. When I took it off, maybe it went the wrong way. Okay, I'm kind of a tangled mess. This is weird. Okay, I hope I am not messing anything up here. I'm all tangled. Give me a minute. Ooh! There's a stink bug crawling up my wall. Did you see that thing flying? Ugh. They're really thick this year. I don't know why. They're kind of harmless, but they're kind of creepy too. Okay, I think I've gotten myself untangled. I feel like I don't understand how that got inside like that, inside out like that. Have I messed up something terribly? Am I on the wrong side? What in the world? Oh, it was not inside out. It was right side out, and I just turned it inside out. Oh my word. Okay. Go back the way you were. I'm mixed up. I suppose it's still a result of me trying it on and getting it flipped the wrong way. Oh my goodness. I wove in my ends just this morning or last night, recently. And maybe that's why, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because now it's maybe a little bit harder for me to tell the inside from the outside of this gorgeous cardigan that I am not showing off very well. Okay, I've got my act together. Last time I recorded, I was still on the raglan increases. And this is a beautiful cardigan that is worked top down. And this little progress keeper is actually from Amy. She sent this to me many years ago when, well, she just sent this to me. It's kind of a long story, but anyway, she gifted that to me several years ago. And so I thought it was quite appropriate to use it on this test knit that she designed. So you actually start off this cardigan with this double knit neckband, and then, which is so gorgeous. I just love this double knitting on the neckband, and it works then into the button band as well. Anyway, I just love doing that double knitting. And then the cardigan is made using the fisherman's rib, which I also love. I've never done either of those techniques before, and I have loved working on both of those techniques. Anyway, so I worked a couple of more inches on the body. I have split for sleeves. And I guess I could show you the front instead of just the back. And I have actually just finished my first sleeve. I just did this morning. I just found it off this morning. So there is a line here where my waste yarn was, and I should try to steam block that and see if that'll come out. I hope so. It's quite visible. I hope it will work out. But anyway, it's so beautiful. Look at this amazing sleeve. I just love it. It's so cool. So this is, I'm going out of order according to the pattern. The pattern goes through the body instructions first and then has you do the sleeves next, you know, after you're done with the body. But I wanted to see how much yarn it would take for me to knit a sleeve, because I was thinking that I might need to order some more yarn, and I wanted to get an idea of how much I would need for a sleeve. It ended up taking almost exactly a 50-gram skein of the fingering weight yarn, which is Knit Picks palette in the fingering weight Calypso Heather colorway. This is a non-superwash Peruvian Highland wool. And it also took almost an entire skein of, I thought I had one with a label on it. I know I have one with a label on it, but where is it? That's funny. I don't know. Oh, I guess I took the label off. Anyway, I don't have my act together today, sorry. Okay, I'm holding it double or together with Knit Picks Aloft, which is lace weight in the Kenai colorway, and it is 72% super kid mohair and 28% silk. Anyway, so the one sleeve took almost all of one skein of each of these. There was just a little bit left over, about 2 grams left over of the mohair, even less left over of the palette, because there's a little bit less yardage on that than the mohair. So anyway, I did have to I ordered one more skein of each of those so that I will have plenty for the body, because I don't think at this point I will have enough for the body without having ordered more. So I was planning on doing the body after I finished this first sleeve, but since I have had to order yarn, I'm sure the dye lots will be different, and I'm hoping that the colors there won't be a huge difference in the new color of yarn that I'm getting. But just in case there is a difference and I need to maybe stripe in the new color so that it's not noticeable, I don't want to have there be a big line where the new color is worked in. I decided to just start the second sleeve until that new yarn comes, and then I want to use the new yarn throughout the body as needed. So I just picked up the second sleeve and just started working on the second sleeve. Now the sleeve construction is different from the body because the body is worked flat. And so you're only doing this special fisherman's rib stitch on the knit stitches, but on the sleeve you're working in the round. And so you have to alternate between doing a special stitch on the purl stitches, and then the next row you go back to the regular special fisherman's rib stitch on the knit stitches. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I have used a system for figuring out which row I'm on, for keeping track of which row I'm on. I have a purple stitch marker that I put onto my needle when I'm doing a purl row, where I'm doing a special purl stitch. So P for purl and purple. And then I use the silver colored stitch for the knit stitches. I think of a nickel coin, nickel and knit. That's my thinking. Anyway, that's really been helpful so that I don't have to mark or keep track on the pattern which row I'm on, but I can just look at the stitch marker and know, and I can also read my knitting. If I look really carefully, I can see which row I'm on, but it is more difficult to do it that way. It's just easier to look at my stitch marker and then keep track of which round I'm on. I'm working on, I think this is a 16-inch circumference, and I'm using the recommended needles, which are US 6 4mm needles, and I'm making the third size in the pattern. And working in the round has just been really nice for the sleeves. I've really enjoyed that. I started doing magic loop on the first sleeve, and I decided that it might be easier just to work in the round. And so I switched to my shorter circular needles, and they've worked really, really well. This doesn't always work on a regular sleeve, but these sleeves are oversized, and so a 16-inch circumference works just fine. And then the ribbing is knit using a smaller needle, a US 2.53mm needle for the ribbing. That was just done with 1 by 1. And then the bind off in the pattern, she calls for the super stretchy bind off, but I actually use the sewn tubular bind off instead because I just have that memorized and I don't have the super stretchy one memorized. And I like how that looks, so I just use the sewn tubular bind off instead, which is also very stretchy. So that worked great. So I just ordered more yarn this morning. Knit Picks is having a sale right now, and so the palette is actually on sale, like 30% off, I think. So that was good timing. And, I grabbed a few other things too, since it helped me to get free shipping. Anyway, so hopefully that will come fairly soon, and I will be able to continue working on the body of this cardigan as well. But I can try it on actually and show you how it's fitting. It's so lovely. Oh dear, I'm gonna get tangled up with this yarn again. I should have gone on the other way first. Okay, do it this way. I wonder where that stink bug went. Oh, there he is. He's up there crawling. This morning when I brushed my teeth, there was a stink bug on our bathroom ceiling, and I saw it as I was brushing my teeth, and I was like, ugh. And then I bent down to spit, and it fell on my back. I felt it, and I was like, ugh, so gross. At least they're harmless, really. They're just kind of yucky. Okay, so here you can see how lovely it's fitting. Isn't it beautiful? I just love the details in this, and this sleeve is glorious. I love it so much. Isn't it great? I'm so excited for this. I won't be able to actually use it, I'm sure, until the fall, but it's lovely, and I have enjoyed working on it so much. When I first started the first sleeve, working the different purl stitches that you have to do when you're working in the round, as I explained, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this. I liked working flat better. And then I thought, maybe it'd be easier if I just worked this sleeve flat, but I just kept at it, and after a few rounds it became very, very easy and enjoyable. So it worked up really, I thought, pretty quickly for the size of the sleeve. You know, there's a lot of stitches there with the width that is included in this design. I love it so much. So exciting. Oh, I also have made one buttonhole, which they're pretty little, which I like. I like having little buttonholes. So you can see one little buttonhole. It's made in a different way than I have ever made buttonholes before, but I think it looks really tailored. So I'm so happy with this project, and I'm going to continue working on it as much as I can. I'd like to try to get test knits done as soon as possible, so I will not put this aside. I will continue working on it faithfully. So I'm very excited to see this continue to grow though. My next work in progress is being held in this Midwest Stitches bag that Danielle also sent to me. And I am knitting my May Knit Picks Felici socks. So I'm working through my Knit Picks Felici stash this year. And I picked out a different colorway to knit up each month, January through November. And the colorway that I picked for the month of May is called Spring Blooms. And I'm also working through my collection of Crazy Sock Lady Designs socks that I haven't knit yet. And this pattern is called Secret Garden Socks. And here is a progress keeper marking where I was last time I recorded a video. So I have finished the legs. I have done the heels, which I added in a color that I also dyed a long time ago. And I really liked how the colors in that yarn coordinated with the stripe colors. There's, you know, it has that turquoise base, and then there's little pops of the bright pink. And there's also some bright green pops in the yarn as well. So I thought that was a fun heel color to pop in. I finished the gusset decreases and I'm just working through the foot right now. The cabling on this pattern is so beautiful. I really love how it's working up. I'm making the medium size, which is a 64 stitch count. And I'm again using US 2mm needles. And I'm really enjoying these. I don't have, let's see. Well, I'm not quite halfway through the foot of the, you know, the foot length that I need to knit. So, but it's getting, I'm nearing the end. So they're going really well and I think they're beautiful. So much fun to work up cables and see. I love this braided section that goes on either side here. So beautiful. And it works well with the self-striping, I think. So those are a fun project. It is not a pattern that is memorizable. It has a 16 round repeat for the cable pattern. So it's something that I have to keep the pattern with me, but it's not hard. It's just something that I need to keep track of which row I'm on. So it's really, I enjoy cables a lot. So I'm really enjoying that project. The next 3 projects that I have to share with you are all new projects. The first one is being held in this project bag that I made. And I am making myself a pair of Shortie socks using some leftover yarn. This yarn is by Hobbii Sock Yarn Mars in the pink colorway. And I had this leftover. I had about 40 grams left over. And I measured my other Shortie socks that I've made and they measure 40 grams. So I might have enough to make these socks, or I may add in a contrast color for the toes if I run short. I have cast on 60 stitches, again using US 2mm needles. And I did 2x1 ribbing for 15 rounds and then went straight into the slip stitch heel flap. And I love how the heel striped up. So cute. I've also finished the gusset decreases on these socks, and I'm working through the foot on these as well. I'm about at the same point in the foot as I am on my other pair of socks, actually. But these are just really, really fun, and this yarn is really nice. It's got that more hardy sock feel that maybe you're familiar with Opal or Regia sock yarn. It's very similar to that feel, I think. I really like it a lot. But I only have, this is all I have, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. But like I said, if I need to add in a contrast color once I run out of, if I run out of this, that will not be a problem. But those are just a super simple, easy, that's my mindless project that I have on the go right now. So that's always nice to have a project like that. My last two projects are two new crochet projects. The last two episodes I have shared with you all two new crochet blankets that I have started. Instead of working on those two crochet blankets though, I started two new crochet blankets. But the first one is from my Make 9 list, so that's good. It's being held in this bag that I won many years ago. It is by Allison Barnes Collection. I won it on an Instagram giveaway. And I love this pattern so much. This is the Rainbow Ripple blanket, Rainbow Ripple baby blanket by Celeste Young. Like I said, it's on my Make 9 list, but I wasn't really planning on starting it right now until I watched Emily of Salt City Knits, one of her episodes recently. She has been making a bunch of baby blankets recently using a pattern very similar to this shape. And so it just reminded me that I had this blanket that I was planning on making, and I just really wanted to start it. I was inspired by what she was making, and I wanted to try this type of blanket too. I've never made anything with this type of shape before that I can recall anyway. And it is so enjoyable. I love it so much. It's so addictive, which maybe is evident by how big it is already. I mean, of course, crochet is super fast, but isn't that beautiful? I just love looking at it. I think it's so pretty. So this is a free pattern. I'm pretty sure this is a free pattern. And you start at the center and you just work out. And once you get past the first couple of rounds, it's very easy to work through. It's just a 3-row repeat, and the only change is on one of the rounds you're doing on these little points. One of the rounds you're doing only 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and then the next 2 rounds you're doing 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and you do that twice, and then you go back to only 1 double crochet. So that's the only difference. So you just have to kind of keep track of which round you're on, but that's easy to see where you're at. And again, I'm just using markers to kind of keep track of which round I'm on. I just go through red, white, well, this is silver, but red, white, blue. That's my order, red, white, blue. Anyway, I am using 2 different yarns, and I don't know what either of them are. The main color that I'm using is a Lion, I know it's a Lion brand Mandala. I'm pretty sure it's called that. It's a DK weight, I know that, but I don't know the colorway name. I'm pretty sure it's 100% acrylic yarn. And I know that my local Walmart carries it, and I need to buy another skein because I've run out of that main color. But I don't have the labels because this yarn that I have, I got at a thrift store. So it was a lot less expensive than what it is, you know, just regular price, which of course isn't very expensive either. It's an affordable yarn anyway, but at the thrift store it was only a few cents probably. I don't know, maybe $1 or something for a skein instead of $3 or $4. Anyway, I had two, I think they were both partial skeins of this yarn that I got from the thrift store. And this yarn is all of these colors except for this light green color. So I've added in the light green color. I was hoping that it would be enough to make this a big enough blanket, but it's not quite big enough yet. But that's okay. I'm just going to get another skein of this yarn, which I have really enjoyed working with this yarn. The green yarn is another one that I don't know what it is. It was also sent to me by Danielle of Midwest Stitches, but there was only a partial label on it, which I don't even know where I put it now, but it didn't tell me the name of this yarn. I just know that I know the colorway. Well, I did know the colorway. Oh, I might have written it down. No, I didn't. Something, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I don't know what it is. I do know I should find the label because I don't know where I put that though. The content is a cotton and acrylic blend, I think, and I do know that it's DK weight as well. Sorry, I'm very unhelpful, but anyway, I thought that green would go well with the colors in the mandala cake, and I think it looks so nice together. So I've just been adding in that light green in between this is like a really light blue and the turquoise color. So when it transitions between those two colors, I have just been cutting the yarn and then adding in the light green color instead to try to get it to go a little further. And I wanted to use up that green yarn too. So I think it's so beautiful. And I think I'm really happy that I added in that green because I think it really even gives it more of a pop with that bright green in there. I think it's so beautiful. And like I said, it's just such an addictive, fun pattern. I am convinced that I will be making this pattern again. It would be fun to do a scrappy blanket using this pattern. You could do it in any weight yarn, just change your hook size, Anyway, it's so much fun. So this is going to be another baby blanket that I will just keep in my stash and gift to somebody down the road at some point. I don't know who, but I love it so much. So I'm excited to get more of that yarn so that I can finish this. It really shouldn't take too much longer to get it to a better size to be a finished blanket. My last work in progress is another crocheted baby blanket. This one is being held in another bag that I made myself. And this is a pattern that Nicola gifted to me from Elimee Designs. And she said that I could pick out one of her patterns as well. And so I picked the Caitlin Zigzag blanket. I just printed it off in black and white, so it's not a great picture, but I actually have this, I showed you at the beginning, this pattern in the little clips of the beautiful patterns from Elimee Designs. So I thought that this pattern was so pretty, and I was excited to try to work it up. I wanted to see I wanted to start it right away. I was gifted this yarn from Tina, my friend Tina that I made the socks for. She gifted me 3 skeins of this yarn. She was just destashing some of her yarn and gave me 3 of these skeins of yarn. It is Bernat Baby Coordinates, which I believe is a discontinued yarn now. And this is also DK weight, and it is a mix of acrylic rayon and nylon. And it's in the color peach. And it has this fun texture to it. And I love the color. It's just such a beautiful, soft peach. And this is, oh, I forgot to mention that the hook that I'm using for both of these crocheted blankets is a G 4mm hook. And I have gotten this far on this blanket. Isn't that so pretty? I love that design. I think it's so nice. I am following the pattern exactly for this so far. I cast on the same number, or chained the same number of stitches that she recommended for her sample, and I really think it's a nice size. I have less yarn than what she calls for in the pattern, however, less yardage. In the pattern, she has added a different color for the border, and I don't want to do that because I have looked and it's not really easy to find this yarn. I mean, I could find some online, but it was kind of expensive, and I just want to use up what I've got. So I'm planning on just using this peach colored yarn and just making it, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to make it to the the length that she calls for in the pattern, or if I might shorten it. Maybe I'll make it a square size. And I'm probably going to do a different border than what she calls for, because the border, I believe if I understand it right, is a worked, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of worked this way. And I think I will need to do a border that is worked around the edge, so that I can do more management with my yarn, because I think if I start making a border like this and I run out, then it's not gonna be as easy to tell how wide I can make my border, if that makes sense. So I'll probably have to adjust the border on this blanket, but I may just do something really simple. It's gonna depend on how big the yarn, or how far the yarn stretches, I guess. But anyway, the pattern is so beautiful. It's I'm not sure the amount of rows for the pattern that's repeated. It's a few. Let's see, I think 5. Yeah, 5 or 6. 5. It's a 5 round repeat, or 5 row repeat. So again, I have to keep track. She has a nice chart in the pattern that's easy to read. And maybe I'll get to a point where I can just kind of tell what I need to do next, but I'm still following the chart at this point. But it's very, very simple and fun and enjoyable to work on this pattern as well. So those are all of my projects that I have to share with you all today. I hope that you enjoyed seeing what I have been working on, and I hope you all are doing really well. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.